has made it to the conference finals. And speaking of which, here we go.
And let me give Cool his props. He said it best when he said why the Thunder beat the Nuggets. That team is deep. And you can't go 10, 11 deep and go against a team that can go 10, 11 deep with only six and win. You can't
Maybe
do it.
7 on a good day.
On
Can
a
I
yeah,
can I
six and
can I
or 6.5 and win. You can't do that.
can I
You
narrow
can't.
it down?
Might be too far. You're right.
Can I
Right.
narrow it down?
Please.
Their number 2 player finally decided to show up for once.
Hmm.
Took him 7 games to finally show up.
Yeah. Well, that's the number one issue. That's the main issue for the Thunder. They're still babies. They're still young. They still have to grow. And
Jalen
so
Williams finally decided to show up.
yeah, and so there's some
What do
hiccups
you
and some
mean,
growing
sir?
pains
Chet
that we're still
Holmgren
seeing.
is
Yeah,
the
Chet
best,
Holmgren.
the
Yeah,
second best player. Chet Holmgren.
No, Jalen
I,
Williams is their second best player.
sir, I'm playing with you.
No, no.
I have
yeah,
no seriousness when I say that.
yeah.
No.
I know that.
So now we got here the race for number 1.
Oh, and for the 8th consecutive year, we will have a different NBA champion.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining at all.
Ant-Man, SGA, Tyrese, and Brunson.
Big body Brunson.
Question. Cole Johnson. Does the winner
I find that nickname funny.
I do too.
does the winner become the face of the league?
Nope.
Because these the 4 faces of each of the franchise.
Nope.
I hate to say it like this. To an extent, with the other 3, no. To a small extent, with Anthony Edwards, yes. But to a larger extent, no. Because I do not think we will be seeing Anthony Edwards plastered all over the place in commercials like we would, say, a LeBron James.
Right.
You're already on commercials.
Anthony Edwards is not going to be plastered everywhere though because he's an apex predator. Because he be like F them kids. That's why he's not going to be plastered everywhere.
Right. But I think the person who might get that type of love, but not to a big degree, would probably be Jalen Brunson. Only because he plays in the market that can do it, that's conducive to it. He doesn't really have the personality.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Edwards already doing commercials, so I'm just.
But he's not going. They're not going to let him be the face because of all this predatory activities he be doing.
Yeah.
They ain't stopping him.
Not
That's not the league from letting him be the face.
What you say it again, playmaker? Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
So they ain't stopping him from doing it.
Exactly. That's why I have no hoes on here. That's why I have no new hoes, because he's not stopping plowing them.
I said they. I'm talking about the NBA.
The NBA is not going to let him be the face while he's doing it.
Oh, the NBA will stop doing that. Yes, because
they're not going to let him be the face unless he stopped that.
Because they don't want it. They don't want a scandal to happen.
No. So until he can F them kids and stop being the apex predator, he can't be the face of the NBA.
Yeah. Now if he can calm that joystick down, then they will start talking.
He needs some icy on the joystick, not some ice out, just icy.
Icy on the joystick. I like that. I'm talking about stealing. I'm gonna steal that.
Still away, sir. Still away.
But no, because we'll still be talking about LeBron. We're still gonna be talking about Durant. We're still gonna be talking about Curry, and we're still gonna be talking about Jokic to a slighter degree. And the focus is going to be more on them still, because
you forgot that person.
Okay, who?
Matter of fact, he's been the face of the talk thus far. Giannis.
I never really thought he was going to be in contention for it.
Yeah, me either.
Even when he won the championship 4 years ago,
great story.
Yeah. I love his game. I love his game. I love the personality. The dude is awesome. But I never thought of him being the face of the league. I hate to say it because this sounds really cold, because he's not American. He's Greek and Nigerian. So I was like, It would be akin to like Olajuwon 30 years ago. Now, He won back to back, but did you see Akeem everywhere, plastered all over the place? No. I was thinking the same thing would happen with Giannis, and the same thing has happened with Giannis. So no, it's going to be the same usual suspects, maybe for the slight exception of Anthony Edwards.
Timberwolves,
Very
Thunder. Exclusively on ESPN. That's why I say Disney.
well, you might as well say Disney.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Ant-Man versus SGA.
I love that. I love that.
Tomorrow.
It's so
game
funny.
one.
It's so funny how the Thunder played Sunday, and they start the Western Conference Finals before the Eastern Conference Finals starts.
Yep.
And
Right.
and Indiana has been off a week.
Right.
That's pretty much what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Every other day is the West Finals. As you can see, ESPN or ABC. Well, mostly ESPN. You only got one game on it. You only got one game on ABC. That's on the 24th.
Saturday. Yeah, that's Saturday.
So here's your betting lines for game one. 7.5 on the Thunder.
That sounds about right.
All right. Who makes it out of the West?
I'm gonna go OKC.
I'm the same. I actually would like for the Timberwolves to advance. And I've known of a Timberwolves fan. I've known him for 25 years. Of course, he's over the moon and excited. But I said, if I had your choice of who to face in the conference finals, I'd be rooting for the Nuggets and not the Thunder. The Thunder are too deep,
right?
And they can counter what the Timberwolves basically have gotten two gentlemen sweeps on, which is they were the bigger, more physical team.
And you know what's unnerving about the Thunder? They're so calm.
Yes, for such a young team.
I don't like teams that just like too calm. Like yell at somebody, cuss. Just don't be calm like that all the time. It's just unsettling.
For such a young team.
Right. But in general, whenever, it just unsettles me.
Mm-hmm.
Cool McCain says OKC. Cole Johnson says OKC, the best team in the NBA.
I just think they're too deep.
I just like the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're too deep for the Timberwolves. I will say this though, the best player in the playoffs has been Anthony Edwards, in my opinion. And then he's the best player in the series, although I love SGA.
Yeah, I think SGA is right behind him.
Yes,
and I think with the other depth, that's going to be a problem.
You and I on the same wavelength, bro. That's exactly how I'm thinking.
I have two trains here.
Okay,
I can only pick one.
Let her rip. Which of the two trains, bro?
And Cole John, he know what both two trains I'm talking about. Cole, I think you know which way I'm going.
You saying Timberwolves because you do not think the Thunder have what it takes to stop Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle.
I called him man a legend killer, so.
But it ain't no legends.
Well,
I called him a legend killer.
In my brain, bro. You climb it in my brain, bro. Because I was
here's
no legend to kill.
Here's the thing. When you get that moniker, title has to come with it.
They don't have to come with it.
No.
Well, to legitimize it, yes, I get that. But yeah,
it's here's the thing, man. I get where you're coming from, but you gotta understand all the love that people have for Anthony Edwards and what he does. SJ does the same thing, and he picks his moments even better. If you can say that, Because he'll go out there and score 40 points, and you be like, really?
Really? Yeah.
This man had 40 points?
He been that active all game? Yeah.
Right. And he's never, ever too high, too low. He's always even keel.
And another thing I say, I know Anthony Edwards don't want it, but the way that he's going, if he keeps doing what he's been doing, the fans gonna make him the face of the league. And if he get past OKC,
if you believe the fans make the face of the league, that's cool. This ain't WWE, bro. They don't make the face of the league. You know who makes the face of the league? Adam and the owners.
Yeah, Adam Silver and the ownership group of the NBA.
They don't care how much you chill, how much merchandise you buy for Anthony Edwards. If he keep being the apex predator and saying F them kids, he's not going to be the face of the league if he win 5 championships.
No, it'd be like he can't. Yeah, he keeps sticking his dipstick in too many of them juice boxes. And one of them hoes is gonna come back and they're gonna slap a lawsuit on us. And we don't want a Kobe Bryant situation again. And that is why Kobe Bryant was never the face of the league, because of the woman that
in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, that he
at all places had to be different.
Either sexually harassed or sexually assaulted but definitely they agreed upon having sex. Right. That's the reason why he never became the face of the league, because the ownership group did not want him because of that stain in 2003.
Kobe can't be the face, guys. He can't do it.
And Kobe was kicking butt even after that.
And taking names.
And that's what the league. And yeah. And unfortunately, he just didn't receive that type of love from them.
Well, I'm going. But man, that is. Give me Ant. I'm gonna go Ant.
You can go Ant.
I'm gonna go Ant.
Here's what the Timberwolves need to do to win this series. Yes, Ant has to go off and cancel out SGA at all costs. No question about that. But Julius Randle has to be the X factor in this series. He has to outscore whoever's going to be the number 2 guy.
Actually, you know what?
He has to. There is no debating it. He has to. And then you got to have somebody else, Reed, McDaniels.
I'm changing my mind.
Anybody.
I'm going OKC. I'm going to OKC. Because it's going to be the one person that should neutralize another person, but he ain't going to do it. I would go Ant, but I have a feeling Rudy Gobert is going to mess it up for the Timberwolves.
So I wouldn't even say that. I was going to save it for later.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, because Rudy's going to actually be playing against other tall guys this game.
Rudy Gobert going to mess it up.
And that's
Rudy Gobert.
And that's the reason why that's the number one reason why I'm going with the Thunder, because he was the overarching X factor in the Lakers and the Warriors series, because there was no one tall enough to oppose him there.
Exactly.
There's plenty of tall trees to oppose him in this series.
Rudy ain't gonna be able to be Rudy Gobert from nowhere.
He gonna mess it up for Ant.
Rudy Gobert from nowhere.
And he probably and he probably will mess it up for Ant. You with your botched up French accent for him. That's
that's my problem. I had to think of him like, God darn it, Rudy Gobert gonna probably mess it up for Ant. God darn it.
Yeah, because I was like, that's the only way. That's the only way I see the Timberwolves winning.
Cool. That was cool. Trump card you was gonna use on me.
I was gonna save it for the next time.
I had to think.
But you forgot about your boy Rudy Gobert, did you not?
God damn it, he gonna mess it up for Ant.
Because he was, because he was thinking, Ant is the one that could kill a whole team, and he probably can. But this
Rudy
team
is the one that could kill Ant.
Rudy Gobert. Well, he did. Well, to your point, cool. I think was a huge reason as to why the Timberwolves didn't win last year in the conference finals, because he was a non-factor.
Oh no, he was a factor, all right.
No, okay, I'm sorry. He was a negative factor.
He was a factor, all right. He was the Luka factor.
He was a negative factor.
Luka said, "Give me him."
and I will make him look slow. And I'm a snail my doggone self, but I'll make him look real slow.
I'll make him look bad. I'm slow.
The snail space that I operate in, I will make this guy look real slow.
He said, "I'll make you my BR."
and probably said that in Slovenian to him.
Why hitting the game clinching series shot? Get out my face.
Rudy Gobert. I was sitting here chuckling with Cole. I'm like, he gonna pick a team with Rudy Gobert. I was like, he gonna be up here. He gonna be up here after the Western Conference Finals talking about, sorry guys, sorry, OKC, my mistake again.
Oh Lord.
But
yeah, for the Timberwolves to win, and has to cancel out SGA point wise and effort wise probably.
Forget that he sucks.
Yeah, Julius has to outscore everybody.
I like Julius Randle thus far than Jalen Williams because Jalen Williams only showed me one game.
Yeah, that's the same. But yeah.
But they got other guys.
And then
whoever decides to be the number 2 guy,
like their second best player, Lou Dort.
That's the same. Whoever decides to actually be the number 2 guy in whichever game they play, because I agree with you, it seems to be a different guy every game. Julius Randle has to not cancel them out. He has to outscore them.
Rudy Gobert, you're behind by the average of damn double this series.
And then Rudy Gobert has to actually be effective on offense in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And then still you need a third scorer. To me, that's just too much. That's too many things to ask the Timberwolves to do against a deep squad like the Thunder.
And then you got Julius Randle, who ain't never been here before.
That's right. This is his first conference.
But he's been consistent though, so I get
he's been consistent.
Every round gets a little bit more stressful.
That's the West. Let's go to the East. A rivalry renewed.
And I'm cool. I'm loving the fact that we get to see the Knicks and the Pacers again.
Can I say this before we talk about the game?
Hold on. I have to make this announcement though.
Oh Lord.
This is the final coverage of TNT. The final coverage.
That's right.
Madison Square Garden and in Indianapolis. And guess who's on the call? Reggie
Miller is the color guy, along with Kevin Harlan. So, yeah.
Shaq, Charles, Kenny, Ernie. This is their final time being on TNT. So let's savor this final moments of TNT. Because after this, it's full-fledged Disney for inside the NBA.
Disney and NBC.
All right, cool. What you got to say?
It doesn't matter who wins the series because they're going down to whoever wins out the West. Either way.
They get started on Wednesday
night. Mm-hmm. And whichever games the Western Conference Finals is not playing, they are.
It's the East. And what games the East is not showing? It's
the West. Mm-hmm.
All the way into June.
All the way into June. Mm-hmm.
If we get that far.
Right.
Which I feel like both series should get that far.
Both series will at least go 6. I will say that about both of them. Both series will at least go 6. Unless there's going to be a catastrophic injury on in either series. Both of these series are going 6 at least.
At least 6. I agree.
And the funny thing is, they keep showing one clip of Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton. Can you guess what clip that is?
The clip from WWE.
Oh Lord, thank you.
Which we're talking about 13 minutes, by the way.
Why is it that I'm hearing people say, well, it looks like the WWE prognosticated the Knicks and the Pacers to be in the Eastern Conference Finals? Doofuses. They were 1 month removed when they played in last year's conference semifinals.
Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna need the Nuggets to get up there with somebody real quick. If that's how we picking who's gonna be there.
That's not how we picking they're gonna be there. They pretty much did a Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone type thing.
Yeah, that's all.
Unfortunately, the series is already over because Jalen Brunson got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot who Brunson stood beside because I know Halliburton.
LA
It was New
Knight.
York. It's LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's right. Because I know Halliburton stood beside Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Hey, Playmaker, I thought we was on the show for a minute. I was getting ready to hit the thing, but I remember we won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are, conference finals. What a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go Knicks. I think Little Lightness is gonna beat Big Lightness because I think we're gonna get enough from Saucy. What I call him? I'm gonna just call him Saucy Cat.
Not little thickness and
Um,
big thickness.
I think they're gonna hit you defense. They're gonna grind you. They're gonna pound you on defense. They're gonna make everything difficult. Indiana's gonna do that as well, but I think the Knicks just dogmatically have an advantage in that category because of Tom Thibodeau. I think these are going to be more in like the 80 to 90 point range most of these games. And when you can stay under 95, I think the Knicks have a very good opportunity. And I think they're going to be the ones to win this series. Hard fought, ugly, but I think they're going to win it.
One for the Knickerbockers.
All right, so this is a series between a team that wants to efficiently go up and down and run you ragged, but they can play physical, but they rather run you ragged. So they want an up-tempo pace versus another team that wants to grind everything out. Every possession, both offense and defense, they want to grind it out.
And both teams that don't get frustrated when they down huge.
And both teams proved in the last series that they can be down 20 plus points and not just come back, they can come back to win the game. So, yeah, these are both teams that they believe they're still in games even if they are down by 20. So I think this is going to be really good, and we might see a couple of blowouts, but I think it's going to be a grind them out. And the Pacers have to play up tempo. They got to draw the Knicks into running, and the Knicks can run, but their tongues will wag if they keep running. So they got to keep that pace fast. The Knicks have to pound the Pacers to the dirt. And since the Knicks have home court advantage, I think it will be the Knicks that advance.
2 for the Knickerbockers.
I think they'll grind the Pacers down and they'll grind them out. And I really believe this actually could go 7. I think this could go 7, just like last year's conference semifinals series went 7. And yes, I realize the Pacers won it, but yes, yeah.
So they went through this last year. Pacers won it in 7 before they got swept by the Boston Celtics. Jalen Brunson got hurt in that series. I think he got hurt game 2.
Game 2
in that series.
It was
later.
I remember it was 2.
No, it was early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it was early. Oh, it was early. Now we running it back. Cat had a sloppy series last go around. Did well against Detroit, but didn't do that well against Boston. Bronson, it showed you why he's the most clutch player in the NBA right now. So if it's crunch time, I think the three of us would take Jalen Brunson over Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not saying Tyrese Halliburton ain't clutch, but
he is clutch. But if you could compare the two, Brunson in his clutchness is just a little bit better and a little bit more reliable.
Are we talking coaching wise? I'm pretty sure I'll be taking Whit Carlisle over Tom Thibodeau.
I think I would too.
Ricky. My bad, y'all.
And matter of fact, in that clip when they shared the WWE together, he did tell the New York crowd he'll be back. Well, guess what? You're coming back.
Jam on it.
Give me Pacers in 6.
What?
Give me Pacers in 6.
Okay,
You know he was gonna do it.
So why are you being contrary?
He's a contrarian by nature.
Each season, that is one reason. This might be the series where the Knicks get run down.
Oh, he's buying into that crap that's been all over ESPN. I got you.
I've been talking about it.
I don't think here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I see what you're going with it. If the Pacers were made up like the Thunder, I'm with you. But what was the phrase that Eddie George said to Ray Lewis when they first met in the pros? Oh yeah, the Pacers are too light in the behind.
They are. But with that being said, is Karl Anthony Towns going to show up this series?
Yes and no.
Because
that's the problem.
Well, he showed up in certain games and didn't show up in other games in the last one, and that wasn't a problem.
This is a good matchup for him.
Yeah, but we both know the Pacers ain't finna miss a bunch of threes like the Celtics.
Yeah,
but this is a good matchup for Saucy Cat.
Saucy Cat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Lord. No, man. No.
If Cat show up, then the Knicks is gonna win. I don't think Cat's gonna show up.
I'm like, don't look like you lighting the loafers, man. No.
Cat too busy want to be a shooting big man. That's my problem with him.
That was disappointing, bro. Seeing that Saucy Cat.
Because here's the thing: the three of us, we would pick Karl Anthony Towns or Miles Turner any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem: Cat want to shoot every goddamn time. Miles Turner don't mind banging in the post and doing the 30 work.
So you like that old Steely Dan song when it comes to Cat? I don't want to do your dirty work no more
at all.
If Cat mans up against Miles Turner, then y'all will be correct.
You got to put somebody else in off the bench that's a big banger for that. If you're expecting Cat to do that, you already lost.
But I don't think Cat's going to do that, so I'm picking the Pacers.
Definitely not. We ain't expect that. I didn't pick him expecting Cat to go bang in the post.
No, because that's not his style.
Put one of them boys on the bench in there and let him bang with him.
Cat gonna have to be big in this series, and you can't be big from the outside.
I mean,
you got to be big in the inside.
I got to do it against him. I mean, he'll go in a little bit. Okay.
And you're correct, because that would be the advantage the Knicks would have over the Pacers if Cat wants to play like a big man. I agree with you.
So I'm taking.
But if he wants to act like a Boston Celtic, then you're correct.
Oh, not a Boston Celtic. I like that. Not a Boston Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only issue. Now, you want to throw a caveat in there? If Mikal Bridges want to turn back to the Brooklyn Mikal Bridges, then that all bets are off.
Man, Mikal Bridges defends like he did, and same thing with Robinson, like they did in this last series. Ooh, I feel for the Pacers.
That's what I said. If Mikal Bridges want to turn back to the Brooklyn and that Mikal Bridges, all bets are off. Because that means Mikal Bridges is not only D'ing you up, he actually putting buckets on you too.
And this is a good chance to do it.
Yeah, and how it was in Game 6, that's what the Knicks need. Like you said, D open one end, give you buckets on the other.
Because I thought when he went to the Knicks, I'm like, oh Lord, you getting a two-way player. And I'm like, hold on, what's going on with Mikal Bridges? I see you on the defensive end, but I'm not seeing you on the offensive end.
The Knicks gonna get the calls in this series.
Heck yeah.
You ain't got but two challenges if you're the Pacers coach. The Knicks getting the calls in this series.
Oh boy. Anyway,
I'm sorry. Look, the ABC Disney wants to see the Knicks. Oh Lord, I'm saying this. So, I'm not. My bad. Disregard what I said, NBA. Disregard what I said.
Disney doesn't have no control over that one because they don't even cover that one.
No, but they cover the finals.
Oh, I know. But they didn't have no.
They already sent a memo. This is
what I'm saying.
In the finals.
They cover the finals. They're like, this is the teams we want to see in the finals. Mm-hmm. Get them there.
Hey, Ain't one of them two teams in the West that they had on their list either. So
That's not true.
But they don't mind the Knicks. They don't mind the Knicks. That's a wonderful consolation prize.
Everybody had OKC for before the season started.
Pretty much. And pretty much people were saying OKC, unless SGA gets injured, probably from February on to now. Because I said, who is going to challenge them? Who in the West is going to challenge them?
Denver gave them a decent run.
Denver gave them the test they needed because I think they need to understand that this is not going to be a cakewalk. But I figured, because I figured the depth was there. 7-game series. There's not a team that's deeper than they are.
that would do it. Me